That was super late. Like, you should not be ulting. Like, here's a free one. Stop ulting as a strategist after the voice line is complete. It's already over. The voice line is for you to know this is the time to, like the voice line, right? I go mo. This is the time to ult. By the time the voice line is over, that's when you have already ulted. Not I am Agamotto. Ult. Or the Blade ult. Or the Angela ult. Stop doing it after. And that's the reason why I literally cannot DPS, because I get so infuriated at just how simple it is. Truly. I don't make it difficult. I'm not doing random fucking movement. I'm literally playing right next to my strat. You know what the problem is? Again, you know what's happening? The strats are not relying on their neutral play, and they dump all their fucking cooldowns forward and front. The tanks can't stay up there because they're taking on too much damage regardless. So they walk away from the Dagger Storm. They walk away from everything else. You know what else? If there's an invisible woman, the invis will literally flash the shield on a tank that's full HP, so it would break. So it's on a 5-second cooldown. She repeats this again and again, and she repeats this again and again and again. She wants damage. She plays Luna. She claps through the tank because it's safest for her when the tank is full HP and people look relatively low. So they use it for the damage and not for the heal. Cloak and Daggers, they blind a fully HP team just because there's bodies, not to actually help incentivize DPS or accomplish kills. They're just there. They're like, tank is in front of me. Okay, I'm behind tank. I'm gonna use 75% of my cooldowns in the next 3 seconds. Now, all Dive needs to do, all the other tanks need to do, is wait. Count them down. White Fox TP done. Dagger Storm done. Light Screen, blind, done. Shield done. Push done. Clap done. Okay, for free. Go. I don't want to hear from any strategist complaining about DPS aren't peeling, that tanks aren't standing on objective if you do that. You don't have to make yourself known. But if what I'm saying is resonating with you, I don't want you making any complaints, because that's just as bad. That's just as horrible. You need to rely on your neutral. Your neutral is specifically for your tank. And when shit gets bad because your neutral's weak or a worst case scenario happens, then you rely on your cooldowns. Seldomly. If the enemy dino bites your strange or attempts to bite your strange, that's when you freeze. You don't freeze the full HP dino just for him to be frozen, and then he shields himself and nothing happened. So you can just wait again. And then when you get back flanked, you have no CC. Why? Because you threw it at full HP dino. Why? Because you know he's easy to hit. Because you will be devastated that if you hit something that's somewhat challenging and you missed. So you feed yourself. You feed yourself niceties. You feed yourself small little victories that are costing the game. Because you need to be able to accomplish. That's why you have a freeze. You need to use them for ults. You need to use them to CC to stop them from taking your tanks. You need to use them when they have a dive on you, so you can hit it. Because you hitting the largest fucking target that is full HP does not make you a good Luna. And it's not about trick shotting either. Because who cares if you hit a moving target? If you can only hit stationary targets, then at least hit the stationary target that makes it worth. Like, if there's a lot of heals going out, freeze one of the strats. If you see a fight between two DPSs, right? And the enemy DPS is borderline low, right? Sometimes the answer is, yeah, freeze the DPS. Or sometimes the answer is, freeze the strat behind him that is trying to heal. Because you know what ends up happening? You freeze the DPS, Cloak and Dagger is just going to drop Dagger Storm. Immediately. There's a good chance, yeah, maybe he'll die. Maybe. But there's also a chance he won't. But you know what accomplishes both that will confirm the death on the DPS? You freezing the strat. All canceling is acceptable? Absolutely. Absolutely. It is acceptable. I would prefer that. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you can't just hold, like, that's another thing too. Stop just holding it. Ah, yeah, but I'm waiting for an ult. You might not like it. You might suck. Accomplish the thing that you're trying. That's why one of the reasons that a lot of people like my Luna, right? Is because when I land a freeze, for some reason, it impacts the fight. Because I try to pick the freeze. Unless sometimes I also need a little bit of my motivation, right? I'm like, let me just land a random freeze. But then it's kind of like, I like to describe it as kind of like a confidence challenge, right? When you're all the way in spawn and you're like 60 meters out, and then you try to tag Luna, right? With like as Hela, and then Luna literally stares at you and she freezes you. Immediately, that DPS is like, whoa. Whoa. Okay. Damn. She hit me. Next couple minutes, she tries to pick you out, right? She checks you again. You freeze her again. What the fuck? Yo, this Luna's hitting her freezes. And then you die on top of that? Then they suddenly stop pushing you. Because when DPS gets scared, they don't challenge you anymore. They instead resort to trying to kill the tank. As soon as a DPS feels scared of the strat, they stop going for the strat. They now just try to damage farm and hope to God that somebody else kills them. Cat treats? Sure. At this point, it's like, that's why I don't mind if I'm just fucking losing. Because you guys are actively seeing what the biggest problems are in this game. Truly. Like, making all that, like, it's nice and all that he was like, yeah, GG's, right? Nah, like, dude never should have started from the beginning. Because he was making a big problem when I said, yo, I'm peeling for you. That blade was fucking 10 HP. 10. Why aren't you fucking hunting the low HPs? And he was like, fine, just call it out. I've been pinging and calling. And why do I need to call? You're a diver. Your job is to just be the fucking greasy, dirty, like, get the easy kills. Don't you want the final hits? That's what make dive look so good. Oh shit, Big Ping with 20 fucking final hits. Oh shit. Flank DPS Deadpool with 12 final hits. Oh shit. Why are you trying as a diver, why are you trying to bring a tank down from 100 to 0? What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you not understand? First of all, as a diver, right? Why are you positioned on front line? In front of peel. And poke. In front of poke. Which is literally gonna fuck you up because you need to get up close as like a magic. So then you have to waste your precious teleport when you could have just avoided that fight. Waited 2 seconds. Pivoted around. And attacked the back line. Why are you using all of your fucking abilities on a full HP tank for you to run out of everything? The dude is literally maybe 40% down on his HP. And then now you have to escape. Tank is fine.